Hey everybody, welcome back. We are outside because we've had a lack of rain and we want to make sure that our gardens don't suffer. We need to give them a little bit of extra care this morning. That's why we have Matt Ross from Owens Community College joining us this morning to help us out with that. Thanks, Matt.
Not a problem. Glad to be here this morning. So one of the things that we're noticing right now is that you might see big old yellow patches in your turf.
Yeah, we're more than 3 inches behind for rainfall, and we've seen a couple warm spells too.
Correct. And what's going on is your plants are like, hey, we really need some water.
Yeah.
And I know they're really hoping for some weekend showers. And one thing you might notice is if you look down at your lawn, you might have these little clumps of green popping up. So if you look over here, you've got kind of like a little patch that's still green.
Yeah.
And what that is that's actually a tall fescue. So it's a different type of grass that can tolerate some of the drier, warmer conditions. And that might be the only thing that's left in some of your yards right now that's not turned yellow or gone dormant because of the heat without the water.
Okay.
One thing that you can do is you can actually grab one of these handy dandy little guys right here. Is you can either use a bulb planter or you can use a soil auger to see what's going on underneath the soil surface. So if you have a bulb planter, and obviously it's not the right time to be planting bulbs, you can actually use this for another purpose where you could actually stick it into the ground and you should be able to get it to go in without too much force.
Okay.
And then you can actually pull out your soil and feel it.
Oh, cool.
And if you feel it, you should be able to feel at least a little bit of moisture in there. And if you don't have any moisture and you don't have an irrigation system, your turf's probably going to be looking to go dormant for that part of the summer.
Now, once it does go dormant, like this grass, so you got your fescue here. What's around it that's not thriving?
Kentucky
Is that a
blue
bluegrass?
Yep. Bluegrass are one of the first ones to go because they're the ones that are just screaming for water.
Right. Now, if we throw water on it, will it come back? I mean, it goes dormant. How long does it take to come back from dormancy?
About 2 weeks to really pop back from dormancy.
Okay.
One of the risks that you come into is if you look right here, you've already got weeds invading those patches where the grass isn't there to compete.
Weeds thrive.
Yeah.
Weeds are thriving,
right.
And they're going to spread. Those that can tolerate the drier conditions are going to spread throughout your lawn.
And how much water do we need, though? Because water bills aren't cheap.
Yeah, correct. About 1 inch to 1.5 inches a week.
Right.
So when you deal with about 1 inch to 1.5 inches a week, if you don't have an irrigation system, you're going to want to be bringing out the sprinkler, maybe have the kids run around and play in it. But for the most part, you will need to irrigate if you have a high quantity of Kentucky blue, perennial rye, or annual rye grasses that need that moisture.
Gotcha.
And best to water at night, in the morning?
Preferably in the morning is the best time to be watering. Like right now, if you're watching, throw the irrigation system on. It's the best time because you're not going to be doing during the heat of the day.
Okay.
If you're going to be watering during the heat of the day, you use it just as a pulse to cool everything down, and that's called syringing.
Right, syringing. We do that on golf greens.
Yeah, way more important than golf greens.
We had a lot to talk about, including plants. We don't have time to get to that. Hopefully we can have you back. Matt Ross with Owens. Thanks so much for
I believe we're going to see you back, though. We're not done with you yet.
Oh, we got another segment? We'll talk about bushes and shrubs then.
Sounds good.
Cool.
See you back in just a little bit. And we'll see you back here in about 2.5 minutes for the start of the 6 o'clock hour. And welcome back. We are outside. The sun is just so beautiful. And, we've had a lot of sunshine, but not a lot of rain. And that means we need to, of course, give our lawn some extra care. And, of course, our plants as well. We have Matt Ross joining us back outside from Owens Community College. We talked about the grass, and now we're talking more about the plants.
Yeah, so let's work our way up. And one of the things that you're going to notice is on some of your plants, like this little beautiful potted oak leaf hydrangea, you might see a little bit of fall color starting on some of your plants as a stress response. So what you want to do there is you want to look at, okay, how much moisture am I giving this plant? Do I need to make a change? Is it a fertilizer issue, or is it just the fact that they're not getting enough water?
So it's already starting to shut down due to lack of water?
Yeah, the plants will go dormant. If you're not giving them what they need, they're just like, hey, guess what? Taking a little break for a while, and you can go through summer dormancy.
How can you tell with the moisture, though? Should you give it a little pat?
Feeling into the soil. If it's bone dry, you know you've got to water, especially with your water lovers. So I've got plants here like hostas and some of your broadleaf evergreens, hydrangeas, and also some of your other perennials do require quite a bit of moisture to stay looking great and happy. And then you got other plants like your sedum that are like hey, every Sunday I'm going to have a little sip of communal wine in terms of water. And these other guys are like the bar hogs.
So pretty.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, you do want to make sure you get the right amount of water for the right amount of plant.
Leaves like this, they actually bring dew in to drink, don't they?
Yeah, they're actually a succulent plant, so they're going to really be kind of in their own world. And you can just kind of plant them and forget them. It's probably the best year if you were in the succulent business to start promoting your plants, because succulents and plants like this ornamental grass don't take on as much water.
Right.
Gotcha.
When you really start to see bad looking things and things that are troublesome that might mean that you're going to be going to your local garden center to find a replacement plant, is especially with your evergreens, when you start seeing the needles turn brown,
Yeah,
you can pluck them off and see what you have left that's green, and then kind of scratch the bark with your thumb. And that's your last indicator. And you look at it and it's bright green underneath, meaning that the plant's still alive. It still has a shot.
Oh, that's
Still
a good
viable.
test.
Okay.
Yep.
What
You
about
can do the same thing
overwatering
with your
though? Because
shrubs.
I tend to do that.
Yeah. If your plants are already moist, if there's any moisture already on the surface, a lot of times you don't want to add to it. And one of the things that you might have that's going on right now, let's say you do have an irrigation system, is you want to make sure that you're not spraying the foliage during the heat of the day, or getting things like this beautiful rose soaking wet on the exterior, which could lead to black spot and some other foliar diseases.
Why don't you want to do it during the heat of the day?
Well, if you look at right over here, I've got a classic example. This is a Japanese maple, and if I get water on this foliage, the water's going to heat up and can actually scorch or burn the foliage.
Okay.
So then what you'd want to do in that situation is you'd pluck off all the bad leaves, and then you'd either adjust your irrigation system to go a little bit lower because you want to get the roots, or you'd change the time that you're irrigating.
Gotcha. Valuable tips, Matt Ross from
Thank you,
Owens.
Matt.
Thank you so much for coming in.
John, we need
I'm
some
jealous,
rain.
I'm jealous of the shorts. Yeah, we're more than 3 inches beyond normal. Chance for rain on Sunday. We'll talk more about that when we come back.